This is a 2020 Ford Escape, not just any Escape. Yes, I have reviewed the Escape earlier this year, in fact, and I could summarize my comments in two major points. The first, styling. I don't get it. It's not attractive. It looks like it's a car trying to be a crossover, but really wants to be an SUV. I believe my words in my review were, it looks like a bar of soap with a bump. And although that remains true for this version, the red color does help it quite a bit. The other comment was the 3-cylinder EcoDiesel engine, which was abysmal on so many levels. But as you can see, this is not the 3-cylinder version. No, this is the titanium hybrid all-wheel drive. And I believe I may have solved at least one major issue that I had found with the previous Escape I drove. Now, just as a reminder, base price for an S 2024 Escape is $26,965 in Canada, $24,885 in Europe. Now, the titanium hybrid, the only hybrid version available in Canada, is $36,649 to start. Now, there's a titanium in the US as well. It's $33,550. But they also have an SE Sport Hybrid, which is a lot cheaper, $26,265. Anyhow, let's skip over all that and just get right into this one. Now, titanium includes leather seats, 8-inch screen, B&O audio, adaptive cruise control, a blind spot monitoring, heated steering wheel seats, 12-inch digital IP wireless charger, and so on and so forth. Now, my model has a few options, one being all-wheel drive, because front-wheel drive is standard, and the other one is the titanium premium package. Grand total, $40,949. I can tell you right now, if memory serves, the titanium premium package retails for about $2,300. It includes the moonroof and the absolutely useless heads-up display. I would save that kind of money and have myself a $38,500 Escape titanium hybrid. It would actually make sense. Now, well, also included 19-inch wheels, full LED fogs and headlights. I mean, they still, I don't know. I see confusion is what I see in the whole front end of this thing. But thankfully, it does kind of come together a little bit better when you get around the back. Now, let's do the usual tour. Here we go. Power hatch is included with this, which is a wonderful thing. So you're looking at about 870 liters of trunk space. Now, I'm actually in the middle of a 1,200 kilometer road trip right now, so I've got a bunch of stuff with me. It's a good trunk. It's a decent size. It works quite well. Opening is wide. Not because I'm on a solo road trip. Well, the kids' seats aren't in there, so I can actually slide in this time. Ingress and egress is very easy. My driving position, the dashboard, tons and tons of leg room. Headroom is actually just about decent. Unlike a lot of Ford SUVs that I've reviewed recently, plastics are hard, cheapish material, but at least Ford made an effort and gave this one a little bit of detail, a little bit of texture. You can sit 3 across very easily back here. That gives you an idea of what your door cards will look like. Combination tan and black leather interior is quite nice too. The seat backs recline, which is very cool. All right, so up front. So I've driven 6.5 hours in the last 6 hours and 35 minutes, and the seats actually happen to be fairly comfortable. They have power lumbar support, which is at its maximum setting, which means that I'll probably need my cushion. I'm an old man now. For the trip back, you may have spotted that in the boot. All right, let's start her up. There's your 12.3-inch IP, which is lovely. Look, here's your drive mode switch, so you can see what Ford loves to do in their Lincoln and Ford products. All kinds of animations, which are kind of neat, I suppose. Interesting. All right, they're cool. There you go. I've gone around normal. All right, so there's your 8-inch screen with Sync 3, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation in this one, and a bunch of other features. Very straightforward. It's fine. Like when it juts out this way, you can wrap your fingers around it and select on your menu. It's kind of easy when you're driving. There are your audio controls, HVAC controls. Very straightforward, very easy to use. Good storage, sanitizer, breath mints. Okay, so I showed you the drive modes. This is starting to get on my nerves severely. Okay, so it's running, so you can be in drive. And if you want to just go into reverse real fast, look at that. It happened fine. It always happens that way when I do my reviews. But so many times I've rolled it into park by accident. Annoying. All right. Dash presentation overall is fairly nice. I'm still undecided about this funny plasticky faux wood. I mean, it's matte finish. You can hear that. It looks fake, but it doesn't look bad. So depends on how you see that. Anyway, excellent storage. This bin is ginormous, perfect for snacks and more breath mints and stuff like that. So that's essentially the tour of the 2020 Ford Escape Hybrid. Now, Now I kind of mentioned for the last Escape that I drove with the 3-cylinder engine, it was abysmal because of horrible vibrations. But it had great torque, but it was horrible at idle. It was horrible under mild acceleration. This one, much, much better. So I think we're gonna take it for a spin and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Okay, so I am 875 kilometers into my road trip today in the hybrid, and my posted average, fuel consumption average, is 6.8 liters per 100 kilometers. Now, admittedly, that is, well, a fair amount more than the posted average, if you will. That is 5.9 liters per 100 kilometers. So on the highway, you could do about 6.4, so I'm not that far off, versus the city is about 5.5. But look, I'm sticking with traffic between Toronto and Montreal on the 401 and did the same in the other direction. So my average speed is, well, north of 115 kilometers an hour, which means 70 miles per hour, give or take. All right, so the hybrid, 2.5 liter 4-cylinder Atkinson cycle with the ECVT and all-wheel drive, as I mentioned. Total power output, system power output, is 200 horsepower, which is more fun than I expected, to be quite frank. But I can tell you this right now, okay? I don't have to drive the 2-liter turbo version of this thing. I've driven it in the previous Escape, and I'm convinced that I don't have to drive the plug-in hybrid to tell you that by far, hands down, this is the best version of the Escape you can buy. You get the fuel economy, you get the performance, and I mean, the performance, look, I swear to you, it's 200 horsepower merging onto the highway. Gets a little buzzy, but really no worse than what you would normally get in a RAV4. So I really can't complain at all about that. I'll get back to the RAV4. What was I saying? 200 horsepower combined system output, 155 pound-feet of torque, but the reality is that the electric motor gives you instant throttle response, real-world, immediate torque. So this thing moves, like seriously moves. Most of my driving, I showed you the drive modes, has been done in normal, but weaving through Toronto afternoon traffic, I did explore sport, and well, here I am. I made it through. It actually runs. I'm not surprised, but I'm very much amused by what I'm experiencing with the Escape Hybrid. To go along with that, I mean, as I've said in my previous Escape review, the chassis is lovely. good damping, very refined ride. I really like the brakes. Great pedal response. Steering is lovely. If you are shopping a Ford Escape, don't bother to drive the 3-cylinder. Don't think you're going to save a couple grand. Just go for the hybrid. Don't bother the plug-in hybrid. I have some very specific views on the plug-in hybrid, so I will say the following. Now, among Toyota RAV4 versions, the RAV4 is, in my opinion, the best. Its plug-in hybrid version, the Prime, it's a completely different animal with all-wheel drive, 302 horsepower. So I won't judge it too harshly, but I'm almost already fairly convinced that it's not worth the extra money. You're better off, even if it is just under $45,000 in Canada, you're better off with the hybrid. Now, hybrid to hybrid, I mentioned the styling of this thing. It's still a bar of soap. It's uninspiring. It just is. And for that principal reason, definitely the RAV4. Overall, this would make a very good, very adequate second choice in the RAV4 hybrid. As long as you don't get that extra option package and you keep this well under $40K, it's not a bad buy. I really like it.